So, good morning, everybody. Uh, Thanks, Srini and Aerospike team. And as I was listening to a lot of passionate stuff from Srini, which I can understand that he's a co-founder. Uh, we are the partner with Aerospike who made it live. So all the features or whatever he's talking about, we tested at scale and tested with our customers, with our application. So I'll just talk about Airtel. How many people know Airtel? How many people know Airtel as a digital company? Many. And how many people know Airtel is a #1 digital brand? Very less. So I'll be touching maybe in the first half of my presentation about what we do at Airtel as a telco, as a digital company, and where we are heading to. And then how Aerospike is helping us to scale. And when I say scale, it is really maddening scale, and both vertically and horizontally. So Airtel is operating in number of countries. Internationally, you can see a lot of African countries in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. One of the largest telcos have footprint in 14 countries, 180 million plus customers internationally, and a lot of transactions in Airtel Money also internationally. Although in India we are calling it as Airtel Payment Bank. I'll be talking about more about this. And in India, we are 323 million mobile customers with so many homes. And on our digital assets, when I said that it's a digital company, so Thanks app, maybe many of our customers use that mandatorily. We have Thanks app and other digital assets where we have 184 million monthly average users. That's quite a lot, and that brings an angle to monetize a number of digital services because we have those many customers, and of course number of employees in offices. And now see the size. So let's try to understand. We have 260K towers, 1.2 trillion spectrum investments, and a lot of domestic and international route kilometers of fiber, a lot of submarine cables, a lot of data centers, and one of the important thing to note here is 120 edge data centers. That means we are already present near to you, near to every customer, and nearer to what we can think of. And these all are the statistics which should really trigger the thought process, the business opportunities, where we can go and where we can work. So just more statistics: postpaid mobility, 35.4% share. For prepaid mobility, it's 96% of the total 323 million customers. Broadband, 27 million plus homes. DTH, convergence, we have already launched. Many of you in India would have experienced Airtel Black program, where we are talking about convergent bundling of mobile, broadband, and DTH. And then digital assets, which I was talking about, with Airtel Thanks having more than 100 million monthly average users, and then Wink, the total digital assets coming out to be 184 billion plus. And Airtel Work, the field force kind of application. Airtel Payment Bank, again, 122 million plus customers and 1 billion plus transactions per quarter. Um, and of course, Airtel Payment Bank is having the largest number of branches in India. That's on the B2B side, we have again 32% market share. On the IoT side, it's again 46.2% of market share with so many devices, 11 million plus. And then we have a CPaaS platform, which is communication platform as a service, which is Airtel IQ, which is already doing 130 billion transactions and 300 plus customers. It's a new baby, which is already, has spread its wings. I'll be talking about it. And then the cloud, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, edge cloud, data center, business, extra, security, Airtel Secure for our B2B customers, and Airtel Thanks for business, which is similar to Airtel Thanks for B2C, but for B2B, we have Airtel Thanks for Business, which is also having 100K plus monthly average customers. So now, while these are the statistics for everybody to understand, now I'll try to put a structure. So where we are heading to and how this is evolving. So if you see, there are 3 layers. The bottommost layer is the typical telco layer. Okay. So we have a lot of data centers, a lot of network, fiber, 4G, 5G ready, our platforms, data platform with 100 data, with 800 data streams and 350 million plus profiles, and Airtel Cloud already doing 2 trillion transactions per day. So this is all telco bread and butter, earning us the highest of the revenues, and you would have seen it's, I think, 170% or something. There's a lot of jump in the profitability in this quarter. That has been the news. Now, on the top of that, for the last few years, we did this digital experience. So when we say that was a build up to the digital company, where we were talking about the omni-channel, do something on one channel, resume it on second channel, third channel, third-party channels, and so on. Experience remains the same. And our customer life cycle, I'll be talking about it, search to refer, and our various telco businesses, mobility, broadband, B2B, and DTH business, which is satellite-based entertainment and TV business. And now, again, then our innovation hat kept on working. We said, this is also bread and butter. Let's go on top of it. Create a digital company and monetize what we have, monetize what we are doing. And then, this whole digital service and platform layer came. And we already have about 10 of our products running, doing great business, really, and putting a lot of additional revenue on the Airtel Kitty. Airtel Ads, all top guys are on Airtel Thanks app now, doing Airtel Ads with our customers, 100 plus mouse. Airtel IQ, the CPaaS, which I was talking about later on. Airtel Payment Bank, Airtel IoT, Airtel Work, Airtel XSafe, which is a camera surveillance. Airtel Marketplace, digital marketplace with Wink, Extreme. Loans and credit cards is hidden a bit, but loans and credit. So maybe you might not have seen that we also provide loans and credit cards on the digital asset. Of course, ultimately it's our partners, but we provide a platform, and experience is like we create a credit rating based on customers' experience with Airtel, based on customers' payment behavior, based on customer overall experience, based on customer overall behavior. And based on that, we say to our bank that he's the customer, you can position your loan for or credit card. And then customer applies for a loan, of course, if he wants, and then whole thing is digitally connected and ends up getting monies in bank account. So these are the great monetization applications we are creating, monetization digital services we are creating, and all of this is I'm talking about because all of this requires a lot of real-time engagement with the customer at scale. We are talking about no less than 100 million to 400 million kind of customers. This is just to show you the omni-channel part of it, where the whole customer life cycle from search, discover, purchase, onboard, experience, and refer. The whole cycle, whole life cycle of the customer can be done on any of these channels seamlessly. It requires a lot of state preservation and a lot of integration of applications. This is talking about some of our B2B areas like security offerings, cloud offerings, IoT, connectivity and communications, NAS, and Airtel IQ, which is Network as a Service, and Airtel IQ is a CPaaS. And the edge data centers, CDN. So you might not know that we have set up CDN also. So just imagine that we have 120 edge data centers, and the CDN or the content delivery is hosted on each one of them, and the kind of caching experience the customer gets, or our customers, the consumer gets, and our customer provide to their consumers is immense. And on the top of it, we talk about 5G. 5G is again going to be a game changer for business. From the B2C side, a lot of new applications are going to come. And if you see all the three kind of features which 5G is going to provide is EMBB, which is enhanced mobile broadband, or URLLC, which is ultra reliable low latency communications, or MMTC, which is massive machine type or massive IoT. So all of this is going to bring a lot of challenge and a lot of re-architecturing our applications. This is about Airtel IQ. Just a slide, I'm not going to explain it too much, but it's a CPaaS platform already doing a lot of great business in the market. In fact, I'll just skip and come to this slide rather. So for example, Swiggy, so if delivery agent is calling to the customer and customer is calling to delivery agent and all, this IQ is providing a communication platform where a lot of calls are hidden, that how the call is getting routed, and it's a to-the-point communication with a lot of privacy implemented. And this is just a voice example, whereas if we talk about messaging or video and collection as a service, intelligent campaigns, multi-office telephony, and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of monetization, and of course each one of these products does use Aerospike. I'll be talking about it. The IoT is something doing great business for us already. As I explained, we already power 48.4% of India's IoT, and having so many customers, so many devices, and this is really going on and on. With 5G, this is going to explode. So that's the thing. If I talk about network as a service, this is another big business for Airtel, where we are talking about SD-WAN as one of the products, and bandwidth on demand, work from anywhere devices, and so on. And this is the cloud portfolio. We are talking about data center connectivity or partnerships, providing a lot of cloud services. Um, we have created a concept called Airtel A Cloud, which is ultimately having sovereign cloud, private cloud, or public cloud, um, and a combination, a seamless experience for our customers. And then the Edge Cloud, Airtel Edge Cloud, where we have hosted a CDN and Edge Compute and 5G Edge. So that's how the things are, expanding. Now, I've come back to this slide, which is how the things are structured, and just put some green boxes where we have used Aerospike. So you see a lot of digital services and platform layer is now having a challenge of scaling, real time, and so on. So that side, we are now more and more in need of such kind of features which Srini talked about, and Airtel IQ, Payment Bank. And if you see the below layers, the data layer, I'll be talking about what we have. We have the very, very huge customer 360. And also from the network side, a lot of load coming there. On the omni-channel experience, search to refer customer cycle, extensively uses Aerospike. On the cloud side, again, we are having more and more applications where we need, and we have discussed with the roadmap what we have and what Aerospike has, and how do we collaborate more and create wonderful applications, wonderful services for our esteemed customers like you. These are some of the statistics where we are today. But if you talk about a year hence, maybe this will really change. And this itself is big. We have total data volume is 60 terabyte, and total instances of having 14 clusters, 100 plus servers. Total peak write TPS is 600K. Very soon going to touch 1 million. Total read TPS 100K. And although we realize that Aerospike read and write latency is less than a millisecond, but if I talk about the nested reads and at application layer, complex application layer, it is less than 10 millisecond read and less than 5 millisecond write. And both of these statistics are for our customer 360, or which we call Optimus as the application. And this gives some idea about how the infrastructure at Airtel looks like. So 3 locations with number of clients, a number of clusters, each cluster having number of servers, and XDR at work across the location, really replicating the data across the data centers. And within data center, again, the database is replicated at scale. So this is what we have. We have bare metal as well as VM kind of implementations, and having strong consistency mode as well as lesser than that, async, completely async mode. So these are the kind of various combinations for our various applications what we run. And this is the great feature which really enabled us. What are the various flexibilities in terms of storage? We talk about completely in memory or PMEM or hybrid memory, all flash, which Srini talked about in detail. The slide shows the kind of scale of databases or size of the database or the latencies. But the winner for us was really the PMEM, especially for our customer 360 or Optimus kind of database. So I would say is having a great strong consistency, and one of the first deployment across the globe, which is horizontally scalable to meet our increased TPS, and we are talking about 600K write TPS and 1.5 million read TPS. So as Srini was pointing out earlier, that it's not a question of loading the data in every 6 hourly and then trying to access those transactions after 6 hours kind of thing, but it's continuous write, continuous read. That's at work at scale. With data connectors, active XDRs and compression ratio of 50%. That's where we are. Continuing on that, I'll be talking about some of the options, what we have. All of them are operational, where we have the indexes in DRAM or PMAM and data in flash, or both indexes and data in PMAM. This is the key one, second bullet, and both stored in flash or both stored in DRAM. These are the options. And every node has one index or data disk, and these are the options where we're talking about DRAM, NVMe, SSD, PMAM, etc. And data return with a replication factor of 2 within the same location, and the backup being done at every 24 hours, and the data disaster recovery is achieved through the XDR kind of implementation. Now I'll be talking about some of the use cases now, how we are scaling. Of course, on the right side, if you see, there are a lot of Aerospike advantages we have derived, and which Srini has already talked about, where we are saying that after testing all the performance and availability benchmark, Aerospike was the preferred choice. And it offers low response time, distributed architecture. Our enterprise data platform integrates well with Aerospike. We use a lot of ab initio, where it integrates well. Multi-language support and platform stability. We don't have any major outage. So, like Srini was mentioning, one of the customers was running for 8 years without any downtime. On the use case side, as I was mentioning about customer 360, which is caching the whole customer profile across our lines of businesses, which is called Optimus. And then we added more dimensions of the customer 360 about his transactions, his orders, his payments, his SRs, etc. Also in a system called Retina, which is also providing real-time transaction history to the customers. So again, you can think of the scale, number of customers, and each customer's transaction. That's where we are using Aerospike at scale, and really this is performing to our expectation, and we don't have any issues. Another one is a DLT platform. Our partner Unatech is here, although involved in a layer above DLT. But it is a blockchain hyperledger implementation across the telecom operators, where it's a distributed ledger technology on blockchain. So what happens that if people receive a lot of unsolicited communication in form of SMS, etc. So TRI came up with a regulation that there has to be some method to the madness. It has to be a structured way of sending it. Customer should be having a say that I don't want to receive such kind of SMS, or okay, I'm fine with some SMS to be received on, let's say, Sundays from this time to this time, and I want to receive SMS, not promotional SMS, not from anyone, but maybe my bank, let's say HDFC or SBI or Airtel Payment Bank, I'm fine to receive the promotional offers from these guys So those are different combinations of preferences and consents which are to be stored on the DLT. And this DLT is shared across the telecom operators. So anyone in the country has any preference, telco has a duty to first check whether I should send that SMS or not. So that's called scrubbing. Now just think of the database size, how it becomes. You might have, one customer might have a lot of preferences and consents in the database, in the blockchain. So, and again on the top of that, our business customers who are the SMS aggregators who want to send campaigns have huge campaigns to send. Each and every SMS has to be scrubbed against the preference. So with just blockchain database, which Hyperledger uses Couchbase, it was not possible. Aerospike came to the rescue, and that's how we are doing the scrubbing at scale, really, for both B2B, B2C. The Thanks app, which I was talking about, is our super app, where many of you would be using it already. It shows a lot of data the moment you log in. So a lot of information when you switch screens, the consumer expects that to be available the moment screen is switched. So a lot of caching work or a lot of complex implementations are there on the back because of the width. Now the width of the business, which I talked about, digital platform. So customer has a lot of experience across these digital services, and customer wants everything immediately. Again, Aerospike is helping us there. Airtel Payment Bank. Banking is also available on Thanks app, by the way. So again, all those kinds of instant availability of transactions and profile and whatnot, balance, etc., all gets available. Mint is another use case where when our prepaid customers recharge, let's say, certain offering or certain plan, not every customer is eligible for every recharge because they have dependencies. There are certain complex rules what is allowed to for a customer to recharge and so on. So based on the recharge history, which is pushed into the Aerospike, and the rules configured there in real time for our millions of customers, those kinds of rules are executed. Airtel IQ, I talked about as a CPaaS platform. So again, it is at a scale, voice, CDRs, or any kind of thing. So now, since it's a voice product also, of course, video and SMS and whatnot, that's there. But think of a voice product where voice session goes for long, and then you have a lot of intermediate or intermittent CDRs coming, or information about that session comes up, which you have to ultimately stitch, whether the voice is abruptly dropped, whether the call is abruptly dropped, or it is properly terminated. So stitching all of them, all of these events in real time and perform at a scale, that was the use case for Airspike. Groundhog MyNetX is again, is a wonderful experience we have created, where we store a lot of, signal strength data, customer IMSI, and the geolocation. So all of this information for, millions of customers, that is stored on our data lake, some kind of analytics is done, aggregation is done, and ultimately taken to Aerospike. And on that, the customer complaints, etc., are analyzed in an automated way, and all of that information is available at a single place. So it's really doing wonders, where some statistics are given as 1.8 trillion records every day, data size of 12 TB, and then with replication is 24 TB really. return to Aerospike in 6 hours. So that's these are the kind of, and this is not an exhaustive list, there are more use cases. And the way I explained in my Airtel part presentation is that it is expanding and multiplying really. And with the introduction of 5G and the use cases there, it's going to explode. And what we really need is a lot of collaboration. In fact, I'll start with the last point here on this slide, which talks about what are our challenges or what do we expect. We really expect, now that we have adopted it, a lot of collaboration with Aerospike. We have to build innovative solutions together. We have to, solve our key problems together, because as Srini pointed out, banks, telcos, they can't go down. They can't reduce experience of the customer. It's not possible. So, and services are expanding. So a lot of innovation and dedicated support is what I'm looking forward from Aerospike. From the monitoring and observability part, also, as he said, that it's an ongoing thing. But I'll tell you, this is one of our pain points, where either we talk about storage throughput, I/O, or network bandwidth utilization. We want their absolute as well as percentage figures to be known for at least 3 KPIs. What is client read and write, for XDR read and write, and replication read and write. So when it scales, we want to really understand what is hitting there. What is taking most of the compute or bandwidth. So we want to get that in a very clearly available dashboard or something, and that across our installations. Secondary index, he also talked about, and this is a burning point for us. We are really waiting at it. Think of it for a large B2B customer like SBI or anybody which has really hundreds of thousands of connections. And for IoTs, these are running in million kind of connections, where there are some, from the management point of view of an enterprise side, their admin guy logs in. Let's say his email ID is linked to millions of records, or his email ID is linked to hundreds of thousands of records, which are the connections. And then based on that email ID, we have to fetch that. Now, if we have to fetch that, then that kind of data cannot be fetched in our customer application cache, just like that. It can't return so many records. So what we need is a pagination. So that thing, I think, is already on track, but it's needed on yesterday basis. We are looking for it. DBAS, I would say again, as we are expanding horizontally for our various digital services, we are looking for a complete self-serve model. I don't want any of the developers, dev heads bothering about how to set up Aerospike, how to manage it, how to operate it, and so on, what is the right configuration and all. Although some work has been done on the AWS side, but we want it on our private cloud, which is the My Airtel cloud. And then another one is the centralized tooling for supporting licensing implication in terms of, we have a lot of installations of Aerospike, and we want really KPIs of utilization of, let's say, disk, how much, or storage rather, how much storage is done across this, and so on. What is the network consumption across? So today what we are trying to do is we are asking the various teams that what is your statistic, what is your statistic, and what is your. So if I was giving some figure of, let's say, 600K TPS, I had to really sum up. So we are looking for some kind of a centralized tool which is giving me, yeah, you are consuming 60 terabyte across. So that's the kind of thing. But again, these are some work. Even though they are challenges, Aerospike has been working for us in an excellent manner, and we are really enjoying this partnership and working on our technological innovation and business innovation at scale. Thank you.